AI-driven content creation for blogs. The art of blogging with AI. I'll start with a confession. Blogging nearly broke me. There were nights when my screen glowed like a stubborn lighthouse at 2 a.m., mocking me with its blinking cursor. I'd write 3 paragraphs, delete them, start again, wander to YouTube, come back, drink cold coffee, and finally give up. The next morning, same ritual. The truth? I loved blogging. I loved the idea of reaching people, of turning thoughts into stories, of building something lasting on the internet. But the execution? That's where I face planted. Hard. And then came AI. Not as a robot overlord, but as an extra brain I could borrow. A co-writer who didn't judge my typos, didn't roll its eyes at my metaphors, and didn't need bathroom breaks. Suddenly, the creative process stopped being a solo grind and started feeling like collaboration. That's what this story is about. How AI can transform blogging from an uphill slog into an art form. I'll share practical steps, tools, some surprises, good and bad, and a few don't try this at home moments. Part 1. The blank page isn't the enemy. Let's talk about the monster under every writer's bed, the blank page. AI flips the script here. Instead of staring at nothingness, you can toss a prompt into a tool like Writesonic or Jasper and bam. Suddenly you're not alone. You're volleying ideas back and forth, and the page fills itself faster than you can say SEO keyword density. Here's the trick, though. Don't ask AI to write the whole blog post cold. That's like asking a stranger to decorate your house while you're gone. Sure, they'll hang curtains, but you might come back to zebra print wallpaper you didn't order. Instead, use AI as a brainstorm partner. Toss it questions like, give me 5 weird metaphors for burnout. How would an astronaut explain SEO? What's the funniest way to describe running out of coffee during a writing sprint? Now you're not staring at a void. You're editing, shaping, and playing. Suddenly, writing feels more like improv comedy than dental surgery. Part 2. Voice isn't optional. It's the whole game. One of the first mistakes I made with AI blogging was letting the machine's voice take over. You know the one. Clean, polished, and as thrilling as elevator music. Readers don't show up for that. They show up for you. Your quirks, your offbeat analogies, your habit of starting sentences with "and," even though your high school English teacher said it was a sin. So here's a golden rule. Never paste AI's raw output straight into your blog. Instead, treat it like clay. AI gives you the block, but you carve the sculpture. Tools like Grammarly help polish your rewrites without sterilizing your voice. Even better, pair it with a tone checker like Hemingway Editor. If your sentences start reading like a legal contract, Hemingway will smack you with a big red warning. My process looks like this. Let AI spit out a messy draft. Highlight the lines that make me grin, raise an eyebrow, or roll my eyes. Rewrite those until they sound like something I'd actually say out loud. The result? A post that feels alive, not factory-made. Part 3. SEO without losing your soul. I'll be real. SEO felt like handcuffs for years. Keywords, backlinks, metadata. It was like blogging had turned into a science exam. AI cracked this open for me. Tools like Surfer SEO and Frase don't just toss keywords at you. They analyze what's ranking, then guide you toward balancing relevance with readability. Here's how I learned to game it without selling my soul. I feed AI the main keyword, say AI blogging tools. It gives me related phrases, but I don't just sprinkle them like confetti. Instead, I ask, how would I naturally explain this to a friend? If the phrase doesn't fit my voice, I bend it until it does. Example, instead of AI blogging solutions for optimized workflows, I'll write, think of AI as your backstage crew making sure the blog runs smooth while you take the spotlight. Same idea, but human. AI makes SEO less about chasing algorithms and more about making your writing findable without draining the joy. Part 4. Step by step. How I actually build a post with AI. This is where we get practical. Let me walk you through the messy kitchen of my blogging workflow. Step 1. Brain dump. I start with scribbles, voice notes, half thoughts, even one-liners I stole from late-night conversation. Then I feed those fragments into a tool like Notion AI. It expands them into outlines without stripping the weirdness. Step 2. AI outlines, my chaos edits. AI will happily generate neat headers and subpoints. I look at that and say, great, but what if I start with a story about nearly spilling coffee on my keyboard instead? Editing is where the magic happens. Step 3. Draft in layers. First draft, let AI ramble. Second draft, I chop, rephrase, and toss in my metaphors. Third draft, tools like Grammarly catch the typos I'm blind to. Step 4, human sprinkle. I always add something AI can't, personal stories. Like the time I hit publish on a blog with the headline still reading, insert better title here. Yes, it happened. No, I didn't sleep that night. Step 5, publish, promote, repeat. Here's where AI shines again. Social snippets. A tool like Quillbot or Copy.ai will spin your post into tweets, LinkedIn blurbs, or newsletter intros. Suddenly, one blog post becomes a week's worth of content fuel. Part 5. The tools that saves sanity. Since we're talking practical solutions, here's the toolkit that lives in my digital toolbox. The links will be in the comments. Writesonic for brainstorming and fast drafts. Jasper. Great for marketing-heavy blogs. Grammarly. My second pair of eyes for typos and tone. Hemingway Editor. Cuts rambles into readable bites. Surfer SEO. For turning creativity into Google-friendly content. Frase. Perfect for research and topic clustering. Notion AI. Keeps my chaos in order. Copy.ai. For spinning blogs into social media gold. Each one feels like hiring a tiny assistant who doesn't complain about overtime. Part 6. The good, the bad, and the weird. Let's not sugarcoat this. AI isn't perfect. The good? Speed. I can crank out in an hour what used to take me 3 nights in an existential crisis. The bad? Sometimes it's too good. The temptation to just publish AI's version is strong, but trust me, people can smell the machine miles away. The weird? AI occasionally hallucinates. I once asked it for a quirky fact about octopuses, and it confidently told me they can sing opera underwater. Spoiler, they can't. The art of blogging with AI is learning to ride the wave without letting it drown you. Part 7. Blogging as performance, not homework. Here's what AI taught me. Above all, blogging doesn't have to feel like homework anymore. It feels more like a performance. You're on stage telling stories, riffing with the audience, improvising jokes, and AI is your stage crew. Running lights, fixing mics, adjusting the sound. The magic isn't that AI writes for you. The magic is that it makes space for you to show up as the writer you wanted to be all along. Part 8. A future worth writing. Will AI replace bloggers? Nope. It'll replace boring bloggers, the ones who phone it in, who treat posts like chores. But if you bring voice, perspective, and stories, AI will only amplify you. I like to imagine AI as a paintbrush. In the wrong hands, you get flat walls. In the right hands, you get murals. And blogging? It's about painting walls the world can't stop staring at. So go ahead, test the tools, break the templates, and let AI carry the heavy lifting while you bring the spark. Because at the end of the day, blogging with AI isn't about faster words. It's about freer words. Part 9. Dodging the copycat trap. Plagiarism and AI. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you start using AI for blogging. Sometimes the machine gets too inspired. It doesn't intentionally plagiarize, but it can echo phrases from its training data. And if you publish that blindly, you could end up with content that looks a little too familiar. I learned this the hard way. Early on, I asked an AI to write about the history of coffee. And a few days later, someone DM'd me a link to a nearly identical Wikipedia entry. Not word for word, but close enough that I could feel the internet giving me side-eye. That's when I started running every draft through plagiarism checkers. Tools like Copyscape and Quitext are lifesavers here. You paste your text, and they crawl the web to see if anything looks suspiciously borrowed. Even Grammarly's premium version has a plagiarism checker that's worth its weight in gold for peace of mind. The trick is not to panic if you see a few highlighted lines. Common phrases, the history of blogging dates back, will always show up somewhere. The goal isn't 0% overlap. It's making sure your voice and perspective shine through so no one mistakes your work for copy-paste. Think of plagiarism checkers like your spell checker's older, tougher cousin, the one who won't let you cheat on the test. Part 10. The human touch. Making AI sound less robot, more you. If raw AI output feels a little robotic, that's because it is. It's smooth, but too smooth. Like elevator music when what you need is jazz. So, how do you humanize it? I've found 3 secret sauces. Inject your quirks. AI would never admit it once spilled coffee on a keyboard or wrote an entire draft fueled only by gummy bears. You would. Slip those little personal nuggets in. Play with rhythm. AI tends to write in tidy, evenly paced sentences. Break that. Throw in a short punch, then a long, winding sentence with too many commas because you're ranting. That's human. Add emotion. AI can tell you that AI saves time. You can tell me it saved you from screaming at your screen when you had a deadline breathing down your neck. Big difference. If you want a nudge in this department, tools like Humanizer Pro or even rewriting plugins inside Quillbot can help strip away that stiff AI classroom essay vibe. But honestly, the best humanizer is your own messy, unpredictable brain. When I finish editing AI drafts, I always read them out loud. If I sound like a lively person talking to a friend, it's ready. If I sound like a TED Talk speaker stuck on autopilot, I go back in and mess it up until it breathes. If you enjoyed the storytelling style for content, then please subscribe, follow, comment, and like.